and entertainment. Please hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit them notifications too, so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Okay, we live. I want to give a shout out to the whole entire Lions Den, both basketball and boxing communities. And I also want to send a shout out to all of my subs, both my old subs, my day ones, and as well as my new subs too as well, okay? Now, I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers, and I particularly want to talk about the major differences between both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And you can also throw in James Harden in there. I'm going to exclude Russell Westbrook in this, okay? Now, the major difference between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I've been hearing all this talk about, Kawhi Leonard, how he has, his leadership is not good. Of course, he load manages. What's up, Sugar? I see you in here, sweetie. Hope you're doing okay. And I sent out a notification to you too earlier, sweetie. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that Paul George, the differences between both him and Kawhi Leonard, and some people, believe it or not, they put them on the same level. They even have the audacity to put James Harden on the same level as a Kawhi Leonard. They put them all on the same level, okay? What you have to realize about Kawhi Leonard, okay, is Kawhi Leonard was already a champion, okay? Let's just go ahead and nip it in the bud, okay? I don't waste no time on here. Then also you have to realize that Kawhi Leonard plays the game how it is supposed to be played, okay? Like this morning I had talked about a couple of things, and one of those things is how Kawhi said that there's no fundamentals in the game. Well, that's Kawhi all day. Okay, now if we're talking about from an individual standpoint, what's up with it, The Real? I see you in here. What's up, Ted? I see you in here. If we're gonna go ahead and compare differences, okay, the vast difference is now a lot of people, they talk about Kawhi on the same scale as Paul George, because who do they put as always being injured or load managing and all that other stuff? Of course they're gonna say Kawhi Leonard. Well, newsflash, Kawhi Leonard has played a lot of games this season. Now, has he missed a big percentage of his games throughout the course of his career? Yes. But we also have to understand that Anthony Davis he's missed a bigger percentage than Kawhi Leonard, okay? If you go do the comparison. Now, Kawhi Leonard, while he doesn't lead from a vocal standpoint, that's one area I would like to see him be vocal in, but he does lead by example. But the thing about it is over time, we have to understand that there are leaders that have led by example that are quiet leaders. They're just not vocal leaders. But that's why I did say that the only leader, and Paul Pierce had even talked about this on that squad, is Russell Westbrook. I know some of y'all are going to be like, Russell Westbrook ain't no leader. Russell Westbrook is a leader. Okay, I know Russell Westbrook he doesn't have any championships or any of that, but Russell Westbrook was the leader when he was in OKC. Russell Westbrook was the leader when he was in Houston. Russell Westbrook was the leader when he was in Washington. Russell Westbrook is the leader now. Who do you think was able to take that sacrifice and go to the bench? A lot of players take a hit to their ego when they do that. So I just want to let people know that. But you can't put Paul George and James Harden on the same level as a Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard plays both ends of the floor. I know Paul George, he was a two-way player, and some people still see him as that two-way player. But Paul George, let's not forget, he has failed miserably when it comes to the playoffs. That's why they nickname him Pandemic P or all these other names, Way Off P or Playoff P, whatever you want to call him. Kawhi, the only thing that you really can say about Kawhi is, okay, was there a couple of times when he did come up short in the playoffs? Absolutely. But let's not forget when Kawhi was at the top of his game and when he was on his level, they were calling Kawhi the best player in the NBA at one point. There was an argument there, especially when he went over from San Antonio and went to the Raptors, delivered the only championship that the Raptors have. And I don't want to hear none of this, oh yeah, if KD don't get hurt, the Raptors don't win. We don't know that. We don't know that. So the rest is history. They can't take it away. Just like with the Lakers and their whole bubble ring that everybody says that it is. You said, what's up with it, Steven? I see you in here, bro. I'm up in here driving. Russell Westbrook is a leader and my favorite player. Absolutely. He's my favorite player. And it's just like with Giannis, right? While Giannis isn't a vocal leader, he might lead by example, but I do criticize Giannis as him being one of my favorite players, my top player, actually, right now, along with Russ. He could be a better vocal leader. Okay, but does he inspire his teammates? Does he motivate his teammates? Absolutely. But he could be better in that department. We just got to be real. Okay, and he got to be better at holding people accountable. But the reason is because Kawhi could do a better job of holding guys accountable because you have to do that sometimes. Ty Lue he'll hold people accountable like he used to hold LeBron James accountable, something that they don't talk about. But you can't put a guy like James Harden, who has failed consistently in the playoffs, always coming up short. His attitude, he doesn't work. His work ethic is poor. He shows up sometimes, you know what I'm saying, up in there doing stupid stuff like trying to block his own teammate and stuff like that. Nobody has time to play like that. If you won like 8 championships or something like that, then you have the right to do that. But you haven't achieved anything. Okay, so that right there, and James Harden is not a leader at all. Matter of fact, he's the complete opposite of that. He's somebody that you don't want to be like. Okay, matter of fact, I think Paul George, I would rather be like Paul George than be like James Harden. Now, I will say this. Paul George has taken a step back because of that gruesome injury that he suffered. Okay, I don't wish that on nobody. I'm not making too many excuses for Paul George, but the thing about it is people got to understand that before that injury, Paul George was looked at as one of the better two-way players in the league. Let's not forget that, he was going at LeBron in his young career. And after that, he just quite hasn't been the same. You said a ring doesn't care about feelings. Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I want any players to look up to. Yeah, exactly. But the thing about it is the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I'm always hearing these comparisons. They'll say, well, Paul George, he did the same thing as Kawhi too. He came up short and all this other stuff, but they are clearly not on the same level. They're clearly not on the same level. And there were some people that were keeping an eye out on whether or not they were getting ready to sign. And also, we also hearing about what Paul George could potentially do this offseason, okay, which is possibly go to Philly or some other places. But everybody's looking at Paul George right now. Do I want Paul George in Philly? I'll take Paul George, but you gotta give me there's somebody else that has to come along with him because he's a liability. Right, he dunked on Brian. Yeah, And all that is what though? Gift though, Ted. As much as people want to sit up here and they want to hate LeBron and stuff like that, we have to be real about something. Bron got the championship. You could dunk on Bron all day. You could cross up Bron all day, but he still got the rings to talk about. Paul George has yet to be in a finals. Okay, so I mean, Jordan got dunked on by John Starks. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets dunked on, but the fact remains is that Paul George will never be on Kawhi's level, and that's why I think that the respect factor for Kawhi needs to be there. I hear people calling Kawhi a fraud and all this other stuff. I will never put fraud in the same sentence as Kawhi Leonard, ever. Okay. Now, Kawhi Leonard, does he need to get it? Does he need to get it done? Yeah, a lot of people think that he does. But guess what? The beauty of it is that when Kawhi Leonard, when he retires, he'll be a Hall of Famer. You don't have to think about if Kawhi Leonard is going to be a Hall of Famer because of what he achieved in his young career in a short period of time that he did. We have to understand that. You said Paul George and Bones. I like Zubac, but I'm looking for somebody that's a little bit more mobile. Okay, I want somebody that's more mobile, but I do like Zubac. I like him in the half court, and I like his size, presence. But I would like somebody that's more mobile. I need somebody more mobile. But yeah, I just think it's crazy how some people they try to put guys like Paul George and James Harden in the same category as a Kawhi Leonard. It's just unheard of, And Kawhi Leonard has taken a lot of criticism that has been fair, but there has been a lot of criticism that has been very unfair. I thank y'all for hitting the like. Thank y'all for coming on in and appreciate everybody tuning in. So on that note, that's what I wanted to say, because when we're looking at it in hindsight, we have to look at who has more to lose, okay? It's not Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard really doesn't have anything to lose because guess what? He has 2 chips, 2 finals MVPs, okay? And while he doesn't have any league MVPs, he also has, Defensive Player of the Year award on his resume. The man has a great resume, and also he has the numbers to back it up too. Now, when you talk about Russell Westbrook, who is my favorite player, he has a lot to lose. Okay, he'll have to be able to walk out of here as one of the ones in the same category without winning a chip, like a Charles Barkley, like a Karl Malone, and some of the other ones that haven't won a chip, and John Stockton, everybody else that hasn't won a chip. Same thing with James Harden. He not only has to walk out of here with that dark cloud over his head of not winning a chip, but also the dark cloud over his head that he has never succeeded in pressure situations. Okay. And he's failed miserably all the time and never was able to lead his team properly, as well as the poor work ethic off of the court too as well. And then with Paul George too as well. People are already calling him Pandemic P and Way Off P and all these other names and stuff like that. He'll never be able to shake those names. He'll never be able to say that he played in the finals. He'll never be able to say that he even won a chip. Only thing that you could say is that he was just a really great player, and they'll put him in the same category as a guy who I always thought he patterned his game after a little bit and kind of looked like in T-Mac. Well, I'm not, honestly, I'm going to be real with you though, Ted. I would have rather see Kawhi in the Lakers uniform. Now, Bron did get you a championship, okay? But let's just talk about a healthy Kawhi though. Do you think that a healthy Kawhi with the talent that you have, a guy that comes in there and works hard, not going to bring a whole bunch of media attention and all the circus and stuff like that and snaking people and stuff like that, who knows what could have happened? Oh, you were mad when he... Okay, yeah, you were mad. Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was right there in his backyard, in his old stomping ground. So, you know, I didn't come over here, man. I just came on here, man, just to say that, you know, look, we really got to understand that Kawhi is... they're not, when it comes to Kawhi, James Harden and guys like Paul George and even Russell Westbrook, who is my favorite player, they're not on the same level as Kawhi Leonard. They're just not. And Kawhi Leonard, there's nothing fraud about him. This guy works hard. He's actually a guy that, if you're playing basketball, he would be one of the guys that, you know, you would actually want to, you know, look at in terms of how to model your game after, besides all the injuries and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you want a guy that's going to play both ends of the floor, and he's fundamentally sound. You know what I'm saying? You said this is Westbrook only chance to win the ring. We don't know. What's up with it, Matt Moses? We don't know. But I will tell you this though. You know, they're running on thin ice right now. And I'm talking about the ones that don't have a championship. Kawhi, like I told you, and I'm going to make this my last point. Like I said, Kawhi could retire today and be a Hall of Famer. The other ones, they'll be Hall of Famers, but, you know, there's some people that, you know, they question what they've done. I've even had people sit up here and have the audacity to say, like Jeff Teague, I don't know what he was smoking. He was talking about James Harden was like better than Dwayne Wade. Like, come on, how are you going to put a guy in there that's never been capable of getting over any type of hump? And not only did you fail, you failed miserably. Okay, and your poor leadership has really led teams to nowhere. So, that's all I wanted to say, y'all. I'm going to be dropping some more heat, dropping some more content. Make sure y'all like my videos. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subbed to the channel. And turn on your notifications. Please turn on your notifications so that you are notified every time I drop something, okay? I got a lot more stuff coming. I'll be dropping some regular videos. Also, look at my posts that I'm posting up too as well, okay? Until then, I appreciate everybody pulling up. It's straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'm going to get at y'all later.